In a word, fall fishing is intense.
She's getting interesting now.
Especially on a giant battleground like Lake Sakakawea. The raw power Mother Nature can wield over miles of expansive water are some days more than any boat or man can handle. But these epic weather shifts are ushering in something beautiful. When many are shutting down for the season, us die-hard fish heads soldier on in hope of the biggest rewards.
Oh my God!
Gosh! Beautiful fish. Look at that thing.
And armed with the knowledge that there are no guarantees in fishing.
That was a proper bite. Be the fish. Be the one. What's up, fisher people? What a gorgeous, calm October day this is. What stage are we in? It is fall. We only have a few days left of October. Is it a fall bite? It is fall, and we are catching fish, so by definition, it's a fall bite. The question becomes, is it like full-on fall bite material, or is it just kind of in the early stages of it? Has the lake turned over yet? Well, I'm fishing one of the bays for the first time in a long time. The water temp is 54 to 55 at the mouth. It was cooler in the back a little bit, obviously, but there is a lot of garbage in the water that you can see both on side scan and visually with your eyes. I know that there's some algae blooms that happen in the fall, so I don't know if it's just algae bloom stuff or if it's actually turnover. I'm not saying you can't have good fall fishing at 55 degrees, but I usually don't get super consistent fall fishing until you're down low 50s, high 40s. Then you kind of feel like maybe you're past that turnover stage, and we're still kind of in the stage where we have to like really work and make or trick fish to bite, as opposed to they're just hungry and feeding. And of course, the other thing that really makes me feel like fall's coming or is here is when you're catching tanks.
Yes! Oh my God!
We haven't had a super consistent bite for the bigger fish in the system, honestly, yet. And that's when I get really excited. But I did mark several fish on this point. It's a point that has a real steep drop next to it, so it falls into the deepest part of the bay, which I still think the guy wants to... Oh, there's a fish right away. As I was saying, oh, it got off. Shoot! It's a point that drops off into the deepest part of the bay. I still think you want to be near the deepest water. Even if you're fishing shallower water, I still think they like that access at this stage. If I'm going to fish shallow, I still want the shallow to be near deep water. But I marked more fish than I marked on what, like I've been checking these spots on the way out of the bay a little bit, and 2, 3 fish, whatever. Now all of a sudden it was like, there's a good mess of fish there. I also really like when they start biting jigs and minnows really well, because sometimes you can get them good on jigging wraps, but that's still a reaction bite. So if you have to use a jigging wrap to get them to bite, like fish will bite jigging wraps when they're active too, of course, but if you have to use a jigging wrap to get a bite, that probably means they're not feeding quite as heavily yet. I just want some active walleyes. I just want some signs. But as you can see, it's also it's supposed to be pretty flat calm all day. So you're seeing fish anywhere from 30 to 40 feet. Actually, I've seen some probably in 25 on the side too. So I'm trying to fish them from 30 and in as much as I can. Before I leave, I'm just going to throw one cast way up top there on the point. Maybe there's some Lone Ranger shallow ones. I've had some fish like straight under the boat in 30 feet a bunch, real flat to bottom, real pancakey, very inactive looking. Oh. That's a fish. He came back to it. A shallower one too, eh? I think it is going to be a walleye, but not super big one. Yeah. Well, he's releasable anyway. At most, 25 feet of water that fish was in. Maybe we play a little bit. So that'd be another good sign too. Like sometimes in that, like, you know, what's normally like late September kind of thing, the sort of transition phase, it's like you might mark a bunch of fish in 20, 25 feet and they just won't bite. They're just chilling there. And then you get down into 40, 45, 50 feet. And that's where they're active, you know, chasing the smelt. In this case here at Lake Sakakawea. That's kind of the dynamic we have, but I actually decided to like troll this spot out and drag jigs before moving. So I stuck with the jig dragging program. Got another bite, and this is definitely bigger than the other fish. Still fishing in the bay, still fishing the first spot of the day. I thought I was going to move like twice. Find a net. And net a decent little walleye. Oh, he gobbled it. Wow. That jig is gone. Way downtown. It's got a little sauger to him, I think. Wrapping around everything. Probably an 18-inch saw guy. Okay. Maybe they're just waking up. This can be a really good way to catch those lazy fish sitting on the bottom like this, dragging jigs, drag lindies. Lindies would work really well here probably, I would imagine too. Oh, what was that? Did not feel like a walleye bite. Oh well, let's try something different. I'm still in the bay, just went to another similar point and also marked several fish here. We might be at that stage where the bays have turned and started to bring some life. I like a good aggressive thump. Something that wakes me up. Just, oh, like that. That one didn't feel like a walleye thump though. I think that was a white bass or smallie again. Wow, it took a while to get one here, but we finally did. Just don't know if it's the right kind. Definitely not the right kind. Oh well. Not quite so active on this spot, except for these guys. See ya. Rolled up to a third point, also full of fish. And got that one to go. There's a lot of fish in the bay. That's a fall thing. That's definitely a fall thing.
Large numbers of fish migrating back into the bay was certainly a positive sign, but 54-degree water was too warm for large-scale feeding.
Tried a little jig wrap action.
Nevertheless, a limit of walleye in under 4 hours certainly isn't a terrible outing.
Not that one. Tiny little Walter.
With some overnight freeze warnings, I decided to check out another large bay the following morning to see if the fall progression was any further along.
Don't hit the dock. I didn't. No, we're not fishing here. I just figured I'd turn the motor off so you could listen to me talk a little better. Day 2 of the fall walleye project, inspired by the ultimate post-spawn, pre-spawn, the ultimate post-spawn walleye. What did I do in the spring? That thing. Since we had some activity in a bay yesterday, we're going to extrapolate from that and fish another bay a little closer to home for me. Not quite as long as a drive. If you're local, you know exactly what that dock looked like. You know where I am. If you're not local, you probably don't care where I am so much. I'm just going to bounce around a lot, sample a lot of water, and I kind of have an itch to try some shallow water stuff. I still think there's a lot of activity in 40-some feet of water. I still think that's a big deal, but when the water temps are in the 50s, you probably have some fish. that will start to buck the trend and go shallow. Let's go to spot number 1. Ooh, sunglasses are foggy. The water temp is 52 here back in this little arm, but I'm certain that as you get further out in the bay and towards the main lake, it's going to be much warmer than that. It's probably going to be about 55 again, 54 maybe, 56. Just a couple casts a spot with a couple different things just to see. Not finding anything good in the back bay. We are out near the mouth on some sunken hub structure. Marking a few decent ones there and about 30, 28, 30, 32 kind of stuff. All right, enough screwing around. We got to catch a fish. Man, when the sun goes behind those clouds, whew, it is still in the 30s, almost noon, I think, like 37 or 8. A little deeper rocky point kind of deal, 30 feet. I don't know if that's shallow, if I just didn't see a lot of life up shallow and never got a bite, so. I don't know why I've been having issues with my camera turning off lately. That's kind of annoying. I need to solve that problem pretty quick. I don't know how much of that you missed, but we got a nice fat fall walleye here at the mouth of the bay on a deep sunken hump. He's got growth marks all over the place. I wish he were a little prettier looking. Healthy, fat, eating well, just not super pretty. Ugh. Godspeed, fish. I suppose the other reason it's probably a little tougher here, the fact that the water temp's like 55.7. This end of the lake hasn't cooled down quite as quick, so that's probably not helping things. But we have signs of life. I tried a little jig and wrap action and had my minnow hanging with a dead stick. Maybe I just stick to minnows. I seem to like minnows better. Not as big. Ooh, another minnow back to back. Hoofty. Feels a little better, probably in between the two. Things are picking up a little bit here at 12:21. Yeah, pretty close to the last one. Chomped it. Where's the big fatties? Where's your big daddy and your big mommy? Well, we had a little bit of action there, but might as well see the sights here after lunch. The one interesting thing about today, I will say, is that only 3 fish have bit, but they were 3 very committed bites. Oh! How? Might have ripped a lip off the little one, huh? That could be how. Had to wait for a split second. Probably overplayed that for a smaller fish, hoping it was bigger. Maybe don't have to set the hook that hard on a big one either. Got one on this side of the boat. Oh, it's a weird smallmouth fight. Okay. Okay. Might break that line.
One night of frost just wasn't enough to substantially change things, but we had colder and windier days ahead. The question was whether or not I could even get to my spots, with the dense fog and choppy conditions making travel quite treacherous.
Day 3 of the fall walleye project, and I had plans that just simply are not going to pan out today because of the conditions. It's supposed to get, I mean, it's already a little breezy. It's supposed to get really breezy in the afternoon. I intended to make a run right away out the gate to get somewhere, fish for about 2 hours, and then haul back, but it is just way too foggy to go anywhere in time, and now it's already getting pretty windy here, so we're just gonna fish a few here in the bay and see how things go. We do have, though, 52-degree water here close to the mouth of the bay. I imagine the main lake is not too far off of that number. We have made some water temperature progress for sure. I am marking some very tight to bottom, and then I can see them on side imaging. They look like they're hunkered down, kind of like I want to be. Pretty intense fall weather. Driving through all the fog, froze up all over my boat, then the gravel dust kicked up and made it look like an iced latte everywhere. Pretty interesting stuff. You really got to want to catch some fish. We hooked up. Little eater. Jigger minnow. He's something hard though. A nice hard thumper.
You have to be careful what you wish for in the fall. As much as we need wind and cold to turn the lake, too much and you can't get on the water, sometimes for the rest of the season. And as much as you know colder water should change your fortunes, in the midst of the grind, it's easy to begin doubting your skills, your decisions, and even yourself. Until all at once, everything changes.
Well, if there's any truth to the idea that you have to fish nasty conditions to have an epic fall day, I don't know what else you could ask for. We got wind, we got cold, we got a little spit and rain, we got 34 degrees. Let's rock. Let's rock, walleyes. We got our first hookup anyway. It's not a super big fish, but I'm pretty sure he bit it. He's going sideways. Where are you going? Little sauger action. Just lost one right under the boat. I don't know if I sideswiped him or if he actually bit it, but two pieces of action with the purple jig and wrap. Kind of fits my normal pattern. Cruddy, cloudy day. Purple descent rains. We'll stick with that for a while. Just got to figure out where the active fish are, what depth. I don't know if that sauger's a clue or if that's like a mirage. Need some more data points. But I like the conditions. Conditions feel right. Wind's not supposed to drop today. It is just supposed to subtly shift directions. See if that changes the way the fish set up on this spot, but oh boy. Shallower fish, but also smaller. This is awkward. Trolling a jig and casting a jig and wrap. I got to get this fish around there. I keep hearing that people are catching a few nice fish in that 40-some feet of water, but maybe it's changing today, but I'm not getting those fish. Yet the ones that I get up shallow are all small. I don't know. God, he was just caught up around the line. This fall has been a bit of a mystery to me. Not gonna lie. I can't get those deep fish to go, and I don't necessarily want those to go. But when I catch fish up shallow, they're all tiny. Not really seeing a big movement of the right caliber of fish to these more reasonable depths yet, from what I can tell. It might be happening in pockets and areas. I just don't see it happening writ large. Huh. Big not big. Chip chin pinned it. I'm getting a lot of that. I've missed so many fish that have pinned it like that. It's unreal. They're just not chomping it. That was a proper bite. This wind's starting to pick up now, and that fish just meleeed it. Waylaid it? What's the word? I don't know. I like this fish a lot. This might be the thing we're here for. Maybe the start of something with this wind blowing. It is feeling like fall right now. Make a run, fish. Side hooked a little bit in the gill. It's a decent fish. Dang it. I made an aggressive move at it though. Shoot. Still, maybe that's a sign that their attitude's changing here. That was a shallower fish. Not stupid deep. We'll see. Okay. Pick up all the gloves. It's about to get nautical. She's getting interesting now. Be the right fish. Be the fish. Be the fish. If it's in the mouth, it's a good fish. Come on. Good run. Good run. Good run. You got another run in you? Where's my net? Oh, just a decent fish. Slightly side hooked again. My goodness. Oh, it is just a day of odd biting, is all it is. Oh, another okay fish. A sauger. Oh, here. Maybe. Maybe. Is it side hooked though? I don't know. It's got some head shakes. It's doing some shaking. Oh, it's a nicer one. Nicer. It bit it. A little shallower yet. I'm just kind of working up the shelf, pulling it behind me, and this one clobbered it. We're catching plenty of fish now. If we could just get the right one to go this afternoon. I was hoping it would happen this morning. Work it out. Woo! Next cast, threw this one sideways up top. Seems like the wind is definitely getting some fish to bite, and we're getting better size. Better. The wind's bringing them up here. It's not like it's 3 feet of water, but you know, something. It's the best action I've had for a while in the fall here. I just want to see my fall stud. That's all we have left to do. Gnarly conditions, 51.5 degree water, purple jigging wrap, size is trending upwards, but we're still not really even sniffing. We haven't had a 20 incher yet. Oh, you, woo! That one rattled it. That would have been 3 in a row. We're putting in our time. I just lost another one. Felt him bite it on the fall. Gave him a half second, set the hook, reeled like crazy. 2 head shakes and gone. Don't know size. The fish's mood is better. Had a nip. It's a maybe. He could be foul hooked, but he just took off the blitz. It's a maybe. Oh boy. That was powerful. That was powerful. Come on. He's just sitting down there. Just sitting down there. Oh, big run. Big run. Big run. Come on. Be my fish and come up here. Oh, come on. Not that big. Another one that took a run at it and sideswiped. But again, decent quality fish. Next cast. Walloped it again. Did he side swipe wallop it or did he bite it wallop it? I don't know, but I felt a bite. I definitely felt the bite. We're catching a lot of fish. I just don't know if they're the ones I ultimately want. I mean, it's turning into a really great day of fishing. That's a really nice fish that bit it. That's our biggest of the day. Things are trending the right direction. He slacked it up like crazy when I felt a bite, so I reeled down to it like 7 or 8 times and then just leaned into it. Pretty fish. Hey, sorry. Battery 1 died in the process of that clip. We'll get you back in the game here. Just threw back another cast. We still haven't cracked the 20-inch mark. The last few have kind of been in that 17 to 19 range. But I think that's 5 casts in a row that I've caught fish, if I recollect properly. I've been marking a lot of fish all day, knowing that if they bite, this is certainly a possibility. They had just been very stingy until the afternoon breeze picked up here. However, I'm still looking for an outsized fish, which is what keeps me out here in 36 degrees, clouds, and wind. I don't know. Probably just another nice fish. Snagged. It's slowing down a little bit, but I just got a bite here. Decent fish. In the mouth. Where's the big ones? Where's the hungry big ones? Quite possibly side hooked. Big run, wider head shakes? No, side hooked. Okay. I think it might be side hooked. No, it's in the mouth. It's a nice fish. It's just not huge. These fish have come out in droves today. So, from a fall bite perspective, things have shifted dramatically. Lots of activity. Now we probably just need a little bit more time for some of those big fish to get a little shallower and a little more active and follow along with the eater variety fish. That's my best guess. I think in the area I'm fishing, a lot of big fish are still 40 to 50 feet and small bite windows. That's my theory. I feel like I've seen some better marks in this shallower water. It doesn't seem to be a feeding location for them. It just doesn't. And I'm guessing this is another 18-incher. From a fall bite perspective, though, just catching fish, they're getting pretty good. At least we're catching fish shallower, releasable territory in that 25 to 30 range. My hands aren't working so well anymore. Bye-bye, fishy.
This season tested me in ways no other had, and fall was no different. Even now, it still feels somehow unfinished. My mind gets visions of what a guide trip or a video should look like, and it can be hard to live up to in reality. I've seen t-shirts and memes with the phrase, "fishing is life."
That does feel like a better fish.
That seems extreme, but it is a good metaphor. You prepare, you do the work, then give it your best shot. And the rest is up to variables you simply don't control. Being okay with the uncertainty and still moving forward is the key. Confidence grows from the work, and sooner or later,
Ready? 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 Jeez! I thought you weren't watching.
Wow. Wow.
That is a fall walleye.
Wow.
I got all kinds of stuff down here, but that. She gone. That's what I came here to do.
I guess they're here.
Holy goodness sakes.